Hey everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie. I'm with Sparks of Joy Studio. And in today's video, we will be doing some thrift flips, mainly that are kind of coastal, beachy inspired. But I will be very honest. I've had a lot of things happen recently that have made me rather busy. And trying to keep everything together has been a little tough. It's only going to be for a few more weeks. I'm working on I'm taking a class for my other job that I've been really excited about, and I wanted to take it for a long time. And this was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up, and I just had like a week to prepare everything. So, huge shout out to my husband who has kind of taken over like all the responsibilities in the evening while I take this class that is 4 hours, 3 times a week. So, with that said, my projects today, I'm hoping that I will have them all finished by the time I post this tomorrow, but I just wanted to kind of let you know what's going on and let you know that by mid-July I should be back to normal as far as how things are planned. To get started, this is a frame that I picked up over the weekend when I was at the beach with my family, and we happened to be about tenth of a mile away from a thrift store. So this was about $2. I am going to remove those little pieces of hardware. They're like little metal pieces around the corners of the frame. And then I'm going to give it a good clean and get ready for paint. One thing that surprised me a bit was that most of the prices that were on a lot of the projects or a lot of the items that I bought at this thrift store had been drawn on with a permanent marker on the actual piece, which I was a little surprised by. I wasn't as much of a fan of, but that's okay. We're going to be able to handle it. I'm going to go ahead and give the front and back of this frame 1 to 2 coats of the Cottage color in the color Anvil. And I know I'm not going to get full coverage with this, but that's okay because we're going to come back and use some other paint over this. I will be using Patina paint in the color bronze and the blue and green Patina sprays from Dixie Belle for today's projects. Here's what that frame looked like with that coat of the Cottage color on it. I'm going to come back now, and this is the bronze patina paint. I'm going to give it 1 coat on the entire front and sides of the frame, then allow it to dry. And when I get to the second coat, that's when we will use the spray while the paint is still wet. One thing I do when I'm working between a few projects at the same time to kind of keep myself more efficient is I will use a piece of cardboard or something else that I can use almost as a tray. And that's what you see me using right now. I have a piece of cardboard underneath that frame so that when I'm done painting this layer, I can move it off to the side, grab the next project, which is also on a cardboard, and go ahead and paint that. It's something that has become a lot easier for me than trying to lift a painted project up with my fingers or leave it on my table and then be stuck until it dries. Here is the second coat of that bronze patina paint. I'm going to go ahead and give the entire piece a second coat of that paint, and then I'm coming back with just the green spray for this project, and we're going to give it a couple of spritzes around the, like, I guess, top or the front of the frame. When you first use this spray, you will not see any color. This is when you just have to set it to the side and allow that magic to happen, that patina to form.
Here is about an hour later for the frame. I'm gonna leave it be. I'm not gonna do anything more to it, but I wanted to show you what it looks like now, and then we'll look at it again after, we'll say like maybe 8 hours.
Here's what the frame looks like now. This is the next day. So I'm going to come back with a polyacrylic sealer and a satin finish. And as I paint it on, you can see that that really light patina has darkened up a bit. As that satin finish dries, it will lighten up again. So like, don't worry too much about, I don't know, if you really like that color, that it would like ruin your project. You do need to seal this patina spray, and I'm choosing that satin finish because I still wanted that bronze to come through with that metallic kind of sheen to it. I was kind of torn between what type of picture I wanted on the inside of this frame. I really, as I mentioned, wanted to go with a beachy coastal vibe, but I felt like these images that I had printed. This one I actually took myself over the weekend, the no swimming near the jetty. The other one was one I got just off of Google. It's actually one of the lighthouses at the Delaware beaches in Cape Henlopen. And then this one is one from JRV. This is a Jamie Ray vintage printable that is offered for her YouTube members. So if you are a YouTube member, or I believe a Facebook member, you would be able to get two prints for free, and that bird is one of them. And so I did decide on the bird in the end, and I used the original artwork that was in the frame and just as my guide so that I could cut the picture that I'd printed from Jamie Ray Vintage's freebies to add to this frame and finish up our project. Would you be shocked to know that this project has been sitting unfinished in my stash for over a year now? This was a mirror that I originally thrifted and I had painted. I added that mermaid casting from one of the IOD molds and then tried to paint it, tried to paint the details of the mermaid, and I did not like the way it looked. It has been sitting there waiting for the next inspiration. So what I decided to do was a very similar patina spray effect on this, and I wanted the entire piece to be that color bronze. To start out, I do end up painting it in black, and I am using Coal Black by Fusion. I do use this Stahlmeister brush. It is the pointed sash version of the brush, and I can't remember if this is the 12 or the 14, but I do find these brushes to be very effective when you need to get into those tiny details that you see around the frame, as well as around and inside of that pieces of that casting. I had great coverage with just the one coat of paint, so I came back after it was dry and went straight in with my bronze patina paint, painting the entire thing in this color and allowing it to dry. As you can see, I am using a smaller flat brush. This is like a 1 inch or a ½ inch brush that I have in bulk. The only reason I wasn't using my Stahlmeister brush for this project or this part of the project is because I was worried about how that bronze patina paint might affect my more expensive brush. So I did end up using a less expensive, easy to throw away if it ruins my brush kind of brush. Now that that's dry, I come back in with my second coat and I am doing the exact same method that I just did on the frame. The only change for this project is I decided to use both the blue and the green patina sprays. I wanted to see what that effect looked like. I have never used the blue patina spray. I've used the green one and I've used the green one on iron and I've used it now on the bronze, but I have never used the blue one. So I was curious to see what the two tones would look like on this project. And I felt like those two colors together really gave that more ocean, under the sea kind of vibe. And I really liked that along with this mermaid casting. One thing you'll see as I spritz that blue on for the very first time is that it kind of like pours out. I wasn't expecting that. I got a little nervous that I just ruined my project, but I let it be. I did my best to kind of have it spray in a more misted kind of way. And I do believe that one of the things that went wrong for me was that nozzle, I believe, has two ways to spray. Let me know if you've used these sprays, if you've ever had this happen, and if you have any solutions that you would use. Here's about, I don't know if you can see that well, but this is like about an hour later. And we will now let it sit overnight and come back tomorrow. Even though I didn't catch it on camera, I wanted to make sure that I let you know I did use both the green and the blue patina sprays. That lighter color you see on there is the green that I spritzed over after I'd finished spritzing the blue. I did both of them at the same time while the paint was wet and while the two sprays were also wet. I really love the effect. I'm now sealing it with that satin polyacrylic sealer. I'm just using Minwax because that's what I have available and what I want to try to use up. Once that sealer was dry, I decided I really wanted to find a way to bring out the details in this. And I was worried that doing a dark wax or white wax would kind of take away from the patina effect that I had just created. So I decided to use some of this gold gilding wax by DIY. This is Golden Rule. And I am just putting a little bit of it on my ring finger and very, very lightly going over the details around the frame and also around the mermaid to bring out those details and really help them pop. I chose to use this over using something like Rub and Buff or another type of wax because I really love how this creates more of like a shimmer or a sheen versus something that comes on very, very full in coverage. So you love this like method. It's something I've seen other creators do too, and I tend to use it more just at Christmas time, but I do think that for a project like this, having those two metallic colors kind of combined, in my opinion, I really liked it. I'm not sure if this is like, the thing to do. Please let me know, what would you have done to bring out the details in this project? Another thing I had thought about was using maybe the shipwreck wax, but again, I don't know, maybe in a different project. I would love to know, what do you think of this finish? And what do you think of today's projects? I had so much fun using these patina paints and sprays, and I look forward to doing something again very soon because I also got the copper. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon.